Here.
Susan Chevalier. Here. Stephanie Kaufman. Here. Sherry Smith.
Present.
Lisa McKenzie. Here. Brandon Romero.
Here.
Susan Benson. Here. Chris Nunes.
Yeah.
Councilman Neil Shaw.
Here. Ahead at the tail end of this agenda item to just welcome Trustee Councilman Shaw. Their new liaison. Thank you for giving us. You know us by face and interview and stuff. Mostly, yeah. We should go around the table. Would you? No. I think it's okay. I'm good. Okay. Pick it up or you go along. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Does anyone have any changes or suggestions? Okay. Can I just welcome the motion to approve the agenda, please?
I move to approve the agenda.
A second.
All right. So do we have any public comment?
Not in the room and not on Zoom.
Okay. All right. Well, bit of business, leadership elections. We do this every year. By way of introduction, I'll say I've been enjoying it and I would be willing to continue as chair. If you guys would like to have me. For the vice chair, Susan and I have talked. And Susan is very busy and is focusing on the music, so willing to allow someone else to take that role. So for vice chair, I would like to nominate Susan for that role if that's amenable to folks.
I second.
Right?
Are you willing to second?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Do I nominate Andrew now for president,
Well,
for chair?
I think you're.
I'm still just kind of introducing it.
Yeah.
And
You didn't make a formal nomination?
I heard, Stephanie, that you're trying to shed the secretary role. That's something
Liza
can be willing
really
to
good at it.
take on.
I thought it was already official, so do I need to write that it's official now?
Yes.
So we will right now do formal nominations and seconds.
Well,
Okay, so let's do that for the chair.
I nominate Andrew Vaughn for chair.
I second.
I guess, is there anyone else?
You interested in the chair position?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, carries.
Unanimous.
I nominate Susan as vice chair.
I second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Will be the fact that quickest.
I will nominate Liza as our
I'm
secretary.
still typing. the other.
I second.
Okay, just don't rush.
Okay, so take your time, ladies.
I'm gonna have a vote and then we're gonna stop. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll wait for the secretary. Who's the control?
It's not very fast, I've heard.
But she is official.
You would be
Who
willing to
nominated
be her
me?
backup though, in case she's unable.
Okay.
And I'll be the third backup just in case.
Wait, who nominated me?
I did.
And I second you.
You remember to
Good part, just on the don't let it run and see the worst.
Oh, I've used AI assistant to take minutes is, it's actually pretty amazing.
On Teams especially, it's really good.
I use them to write.
I do it during finance meetings because I do not understand it, and then the AI is like, the CFO said, well, that's actually
He's
easier.
end up on YouTube now, so you could probably just point ChatGPT or something and you could like summarize this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's move on to our staff updates. We got budget first.
trying to get away from. Yeah, get off of your.
Back to the hour.
It's not letting me. Do you wanna,
I'll just drop my video.
yeah, see if that works, cause you were okay. Isn't it strange?
Just as soon not have it in this.
All right, there's short and sweet list here. On the flip side of your agenda is the 2024 budget closeout. Just so you can see how your two budgets ended up at the end of 2024.
Nice.
And we do it in January because, you know, we're usually paying December invoices right up until the very end of the month and sometimes into the first week of January. So, I don't think we have anything like any vendors outstanding, any work like from the installations or anything like that. So,
Chris, let's keep harassing our winners.
Yeah.
And if it happens in 25, we'll just pay it out of discretionary, but we have those guys.
600.
Yeah, I mean, we need to honor our commitments here.
Non-responsive.
that, you know, that Thomas.
Yeah, I
I'm
emailed him.
wondering,
I emailed him asking if he's getting your messages.
Is to check his
He
spam.
didn't reply to me.
Okay.
So I'm
What
starting to
do you-
wonder if he's even in Boulder.
Yeah.
I think he's either a graduate student or something where he's associated with City Boulder, but
Okay,
maybe that's why he's.
okay, well, keep me posted.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, well, that's where everything landed. If you have any questions, let me know. Artwork installation status, I think we're good to go on pretty much all of the public artworks that were slated for last year. And as we know, they all take a lot longer than we think. We still have the prairie dogs that need to go out, and that's on my list. But with the, you know, that's all weather permitting at this point, so I'll just kind of keep you updated as we go. And then I've been trying to communicate with the superintendent on the mural lighting, because as you know, it was really bright in there, intentionally. And then the lights were also connected to the external lights of town hall. And then once the holiday lights got in there, it just kind of got everything mixed up and crazy. And so I need to just see what the status is, but we do need to split off in town hall and have our own lights.
Gotten several comments. Most of them are, it's too dark. And
Yeah.
a very,
During the day.
a very few,
right?
it's too bright at night, but most everyone says, I can't see it.
And is that during the day or at night? Or both?
Day.
Day, because they're
At night
going
they're off.
off. Yeah, they're going off, yeah, and we just.
Yeah, at night they're very bright. People ride their bikes through. I'm not sure how much I feel like that's really a problem, but
Yeah,
maybe they can be dimmed on.
yeah, I think some were saying that we're riding their bikes that's going from at night, like going from dark into this intense bright. And then
out
back
again.
in the dark was too much, and our superintendent thought about maybe shutting off every other light, just to. So I think he's experimenting, but we're also in that situation where town hall lights are on a sensor and it's connected into those lights and we need to be completely separate. So it's a little more of a project than we thought, but I'm on it.
Neil, do you happen to know when they do the new, like, the bridge and the trail, will they add lights on because if there's more light outside, that might solve our.
Yeah, so the construction on that bridge, the Grasswood Park Bridge is gonna start in February, but that might be a good point to intercept with Brandon on, just changing all the lighting.
There's other lighting.
Yeah.
If there's more light outside than coming out of the bright tunnel, won't be so dark on the other side.
Yeah, since we approved it, I think Brandon said they're gonna try to start in February, given the 2 weeks of sub-zero temperature. I don't know if that's changed, but
It would be nice if there were lights along
Yeah.
the backside of the barn and that homestead house along the creek, because it's pretty dark back there, I would imagine.
it seems like we should be able to wrap it all together.
Yeah, could we?
I'll just, I'll get with Leslie, who will get it for now.
Sometimes just buying like lower wattage bulbs helps too, if you just.
These are they're those square, almost like shop lights that have like integrated LEDs in them and stuff, so I'm not sure we can.
Well, I think all of the LEDs are dimmable.
Yeah, so maybe get that
We
little
can
circuit.
ask, yeah, I can definitely
As
ask.
long as the control is not just on off.
And then the only other thing, just to give you, and speaking of lights, Andrew, found some really great solar lights, you know, the little stake kind that you stick in the ground, and we don't normally use those kind of lighting around town or in parks, but because we have a couple sculptures and medians, we're gonna give them a try, just to see how bright they are. But we have to wait until the ground thaws out a little bit, but I think I bought 12, 4 for each. And then a couple of backups in case, you know, snowplow snowed, it would take some light or two, so we have some backup. But if they work really well, we'll buy more for sure. But so it'll be a test, so as soon as we get those up and going, I'll get with you all and you can check on them for us, cause right now it's dark early, but it won't be forever.
Back to BJ, I had two questions on Coyote Hawk. I've had a couple people tell me that it's not as prominent as they expected, and I tend to agree. We had a question about whether it was mounted as tall as it was supposed to, right? We were under the impression maybe there were 2 sandstone. Did we ever check with Joe on?
And
what the time is? And then we were also talking about that you just put all junipers out, is that?
There is a plan to get those all out. Apparently, all the junipers are coming out around town, so it's just a matter of time.
Is that like Vargas in the spring?
Yes. But I'll have to about the past ones. But I think once the junipers are gone, it'll definitely stand out a lot better.
Yeah.
But elevating it would be nice. So,
It's really cool to walk by, driving by, the view you need goes by fast.
It is tough to visualize the shapes when you're driving.
Yeah, I try to drive by really slow and then.
I creep by it in principle, but yeah, I mean,
well, his work, the pieces he has on 93 as you're dropping into Golden, that's even worse because you're.
we gotta look backwards to get a second
Yeah.
view, right?
Oh, you can't, yeah, at least we're not in that situation, but yeah.
So, yeah, a little bit of refinement on that. Maybe, yeah, we're-
Okay.
I have heard sort of sarcastic comment for that. You're trying to look at the picture while they're driving, while there's kids walking to school. So
What do you mean they feel weird?
unsafe,
Gawking.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Pay attention to the road and not the yard,
right?
Gotcha.
which is kind of why we put it down the hill instead of up all the, yeah. Anyway. Okay. Any go backs on staff updates? Okay, so let's go to our general updates. We've got the March Fire Remembrance. We're now calling it Remembrance and not Memorial. Not a whole lot's changed, I think, since the last time I updated, but we have met a couple times. We've gone through survey number 2 results. We are, and I think I already mentioned, we are leaning towards this Overman Roche trailhead location. JG and Leslie and I have been out there and have talked about ADA requirements and where exactly we could build, whose right of way it is and all that stuff. My current impression is that there are no deal breakers on that. So the committee is going to get together Monday for our next meeting. And I'm envisioning us basically putting together our presentation for the board. Are we all there again?
Not yet, we're
It's late February, right? We were.
late February, early March, yeah.
Sorry, did you say the Herman Roche trailhead or
Yeah.
somewhere along the trail?
It's the OR trailhead, but it would be like a little bit over the fence on the slope, looking down towards.
Like kind of behind the
Behind the
rings
wings, yeah.
to the west.
Behind the rings, but so not towards the Flatirons from the parking lot?
We,
That opens, is that considered?
you can't go like, the long, oval like this. There's a fence like right here, and we have, Superior has this. Where the intersection is, all of that is what, boulder? County, open space or something, much harder to build than here.
Yeah.
Here. Okay.
The JG, it's on Matt's look ahead for April.
What?
It's on Matt's look ahead for the April 14th.
We're sort of fixing noise.
I talked to,
Okay,
I talked to Leslie, and I was like,
So like right above the range?
that's too far out, yeah, I don't know,
There's like a.
we should make like a summer street.
Kind of hard to guess.
Cut it off.
Yeah,
Like,
whole
eight
area,
yeah.
instead of late.
Yeah, that was cheap.
How slow that.
Yeah,
That was.
I sent her an email today, saying, no, we
20%.
need.
Yeah, there's plenty,
Like-
there's plenty of room on the April, sorry, February 24th meeting. If the committee's ready to.
So it would be basically an update to the council, right?
It's an update. We might actually ask for some kind of approval, right? We're gonna need the council, I think, to give us permission to truly pursue, to send a request for qualifications or request for proposals on that site, because if we're talking about an amenity with bulldozers and ADA paths and that kind of stuff, you know, and we're gonna be all in once we decide on that spot.
That and potential fundraising and potential consultants or.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be, you know, a review of the history, review of survey number 2 results and how the committee, you know, machinated on that, what we came up with, and then what we kind of proposed to propose, which is interesting, you know, because it goes out as a RFQ. So we're not gonna design something that goes there. It's just, this is what we've heard from the community. We think this is the spot. We think, you know, the place to gather and pet memorial and these kinds of things. And now we're gonna put it out to artists and ask the council if that, you know, if they agree that we have properly been in touch with residents in the town and we're ready to move on that, which would be exciting. Okay. Upcoming events, yeah, so Monday will be the council reviewing our work plan. And we've also got the first superior pairing coming up that month. I guess is that after our next meeting? It might be, maybe I jumped the gun on getting that on here, but yeah, excited about that. We'll talk a little bit more about, in fact, anything else on anything in number 4? Okay, so let's move on to work plan check-in and talk about the superior
Sorry,
pairing.
what was the wall thing?
That's the first superior parents talk.
That is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so give us a quick rehash on what the wall is about.
Well, Tuesday, right, because I was talking to Anthony Garcia, one of the speakers, and he was surprised that it was a Tuesday, but I feel like it's because it's always so booked to get like a Friday or Saturday to do something at night. That's kind of how I explained it to him.
Well, not even just that the building's booked, but people are booked, right?
Yeah.
The mental bandwidth to do another thing on Saturday night is tough, right?
So, yeah, I mean, they're gonna be doing a talk about murals and like how to build like community through murals. One's a mural curator in Walsenburg, one has participated in like the Rhino Mural Fest forever and like has his own rec center in Denver where he teaches kids how to paint and like has a whole thing, like he also owns a gallery, Alto Gallery, and Garcia and Max Kaufman, and they're just gonna talk about some of their favorite murals that have happened in Colorado, and then like how it changes neighborhoods and helps communities. And I never reached out to AJ. I know that he's in like Louisiana right now, but I was considering maybe asking if he wanted to come in and chat with him, just, you know, because he has a mural here in Superior.
Could wear that.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be like, I don't know, super too intellectual. This is gonna be sort of like basics, I guess.
When is it?
On the 25th,
When?
February.
we actually had a full page ad on it in the Superior, the Hello Superior magazine.
Yeah,
Events.
but we start to raise that one with comms, because,
Just voted.
yeah. Because I have seen one email,
Mhm.
and now when I search my email, I can't find it, even though I know it's there, and that frustrates me, that, you know, that I know that the event exists and it's still hard to find, so.
Yeah.
If they promote it, do they hashtag or like anything? Like,
Yeah,
maybe just even
our-
superior pairings and then do they add any sort of?
I've been using at Superior Art when I hashtag everything,
That's
so,
superior art.
yeah.
Yeah, we can do superior art. But does the town tend to,
Like repost and that kind of thing?
they use Facebook, do they use X or Insta?
They're on Instagram.
Yeah.
So once the town publishes it, then by all means distribute that. far and
Yeah,
wide.
it'll be big if y'all can push it out as much as possible too.
How long is it scheduled to be?
An hour.
We were kind of thinking an hour and then if there a Q&A, like a little add-on.
Are we doing serendipity with this? We talked about that.
Oh, wait, yes, I did,
Yes.
I'm sorry, then I already booked, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're doing the Buddhist. And then the other thing was the recording, which Susan, you just brought up with GG, so we're looking into getting them recorded. We have a budget for media and recording. We don't want these things to go by, especially if initially they're under attended. We want to have them for posterity. And you also talked about media just for the presenters themselves having their laser pointers and their screens. And do you know if they'll want something they want to show?
Yeah, I'm working with them on like making a video of like what they've done and like some of the murals that they're gonna be talking about. I've met with both of them recently and like I'm gonna see Max tomorrow. These are like people in my circle of things that go on in Denver.
So whatever they might be presenting, it would be really good for me to have a few days ahead of time, because just so we're testing and setting up, you know, way before they even get here.
Yeah, I didn't know if I needed to do that or if someone comes and does that. Like, do I just show up with a laptop with like and plug it in?
Well, that's a great question, and it partly depends on where we are, because I initially booked this room
Mhm.
and used this room in the past with all the tables out and just done rows of chairs, and, you know, you can get 20, 25 people in here. But I also did sort of backup reservation for the stadium seating. And if we use that, so if we're in here, we can use the screen, it's easy to set up a laptop and everyone can see the screen really well. Out there, we would need to add an extra layer of renting a screen and a projector and
Well, we've
setting
got-
up
we've got
tables and.
screens. Yeah, we can roll the frame over if that's
Well,
big
we
enough.
could, but, you know, a lot of times, I mean, you got somebody way up, you know, if you, even halfway up the stadium, they may not be able to see that screen.
And I mean, I wasn't envisioning, I hope they get popular, but for the first couple, it's probably not gonna be that many people, so do you think?
I think it'd be hard for me to get their following on a Tuesday from Denver, but I do think people in the community that live in Superior might come and like want to know more about murals, since we just had like, you know, a really amazing mural painted.
It's incredibly cool, right? The description you just gave us, I feel like would be super captivating if you could hear it that way, you know. I mean, sounds fantastic to me, so if we can get the word out.
But I think the location, you know, because even when we do guest speakers, like in Long's Peak, the big room, we rent a big 16-foot, you know, screen and a projector, even for that room. So I'm sort of comparing it to the potential distance, up in the stadium versus like that room. So, but I have found a really good company that doesn't charge too terribly much to come in, set up the equipment. We use it, they take it right back out, so.
I would hate to go through the expense and the trouble and have, you know, 6 people show up here, and we could have done it in here.
So I have both rooms still reserved, and I'll do whatever you wanna do. I hear you loud and clear, like maybe it needs to get a little momentum first.
Yeah, I mean, and just like for us to, because people are gonna have to register for it, are we gonna have
I think it's open.
Registration,
It'll be open and it's, you know, a program on Civic Rec and,
okay.
you know,
So, I mean, so we'll have an idea of at least how many people have signed up for it. Okay.
well,
Kind of, because, but if I'm social promoting on social media, I don't have a link to say, please.
right, they don't have to sign up.
Okay.
It'll be on, it's like Civic Rec is just an open walk-in program.
Okay.
That goes like the town.
But we'll, yeah, but we'll definitely count how many people show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could, if we have them both, we could plan on this and overflow, and we wouldn't have the screen, but we could just roll the frame up and kind of HDMI to this, right, this backup lens. Help people with bad eyes to sit up front.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty bright. I mean, they're about the same time as that.
Yeah. 65.
So you wanna go with this room then for the first one?
This would be what, probably 25 people, something like that. We
Is that what
just
you did,
line
Chris?
them up.
Well, 25,
I guess.
and then you were at the front.
Sounds about right.
They said they'd take the tables out and we just have like
Chairs.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I find this claustrophobic with 10 people in it, but.
Yeah, I'm a little bit with you.
I mean, if it's a Tuesday and no one's doing anything out there, like, it would be kind of fun to like come in here, not expecting there's gonna be a talk, and there's like a full mural talk happening in the, you know.
Yeah, so you might just pick up some
Yeah,
stragglers.
some
and-
stragglers, you know, and like, I mean, I can tell my kids to like, tell the high school and stuff, there's gonna be like real street artists here, like talking about like their projects, like it's. I mean, these guys have painted like 100 murals, like in Denver, Colorado.
And that would be a great use for multiple screens, to have multiple pictures up at one time, for people to check out.
Yeah, I mean,
If we could get them back here.
we just gotta get to I just gotta get the like, information, right, like data to have on the
The
screen.
images.
Yeah,
Well, we need
So-
to-
yeah, I can collect the JPEGs, I mean, and then who does the slideshow?
And you wouldn't even have to really run a slideshow. If you want, if you have your own screen, do it like the center screen doing whatever your video that you're doing. These could just be on the side as people come in as you get set up or during the queue, I mean, they just be always on.
You can, I mean, they're just displays, right? I mean, it'll
Yeah.
run a slideshow, but it'll also just connect with any laptop to it or whatever, and you can do whatever you do.
Yeah, I mean, I can work on the thumb drives, like, so basically it's like a thumb drive with like images and like have like multiple screens with different images on different thumb drives and
Yeah, that's what I
it
did.
automatically rotates.
That's what I did with the AI art show.
Yeah, how do we get two more of those things here without spending $800?
How do you get two more
I
of
can,
those?
I can.
I know, I looked at the delivery.
If
1200, right?
If we
Yeah.
take the screens off the racks, I can throw a couple of them
Oh,
apart.
that's a good, are they easy to get off?
Probably, I mean,
Moderately.
they're easy to rotate.
Yeah.
So
In moderately, it's not.
I'll help you. We'll
I
do
did,
it.
I put all of them on the racks myself in my garage, so.
And I don't wanna like try to overdo it, I mean, maybe one screen and then one that they use for their talk. It doesn't have to be too much, just cause,
Even if it's in here, there's room to set up multiple screens too. Or out there, like you're saying.
mhm. If no one's using it out there, I mean, and then we're gonna have the bar open, like not open, but running. Like,
Yeah.
out there.
That's a good point.
Is,
With serendipity, we should do it out there.
and I was kind of thinking, you know, stanchioning off a little bit behind them, so people are coming in and going to something in the back, they, you know, don't walk in front of them. And then walk behind.
Let's go for it. We got serendipity, we'll bring two screens, we'll do it out there.
Would
We'll
the plan
advertise
be
it.
to open doors at 6 and have serendipity open at 6 with the talk starting at 6:30? Or what's your schedule for the night?
I haven't really thought it through. I mean, I was gonna be here at 6 to make sure that the AP got set up.
I can add a little note saying, you know, come early, enjoy some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure the artists are here at 6.
Here.
Lubrication at the start of the talk.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I mean, we did, and then I guess that we didn't talk about the microphones, is that something we have to rent, or is it like?
We
don't
have
need
some here, and then whoever, if we're doing video, they'll have lapel mics. But we have a speaker and mics here, so we have that already, it's just the screen and the projector that we would run.
But we're thinking we're reverting to the frames.
Yeah, and that would work too. Just encourage people to sit lower down. Yeah.
Well, cause I have a microphone and like a speaker, if you don't have one,
Karaoke box.
like a for my synthesizer.
Let me inventory and make sure we're good, and if we're not, I'll get with you and
Cool.
sound good?
Yeah, cause I mean, these guys have their own connections as well, so.
Okay. Perfect.
And then we decided we were gonna film it or what?
That's what
Yes.
we're waiting on.
And we should talk about that.
Cause I ran into like audio issues if like you're filming it and you don't have the microphones that the speakers are using connected to the camera, you can get really bad audio, and then basically your video is useless.
Yeah.
Right, and so the folks that have been doing the videos for us for the installs, I reached out to them for a quote. I don't have it back yet.
They're expensive.
They have been expensive-ish for the installs, but I think there's more to those.
Which might be different since it's,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he pointed around, I think you could almost get away with just setting them on tripods. And then, do a little editing afterwards, but JD has also reached out to Nancy, who is on the other end of the owl there. TriCaster, yeah, and so that's a possibility as well, so we're evaluating some options.
Maybe, I think I might reach out to one of the art teachers at Monarch High School to see if like they wanna like let the students know that we're doing it.
Student production could be cool too, yeah.
Or just to like, yeah.
Are you talking about advertising for attendance or for AV?
Probably just for attendance.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this happens in a month, so all of these little details we can continue over email. Chris and I work on how to get the screens here the day before or something in our cars, vans.
Yeah.
We do that.
and it's a day where I can help
Okay,
or work.
then we'll work on the recording and double checking on if we have mics and all that stuff. And you guys will work on the artists themselves having
And yeah,
laptop or a memory stick or whatever. Okay, great. All right, so let's move on to our discussion, Mark, man. I've got all night.
Never been this far on the agenda.
All right, so per my email, we've got all these things. We did the work plan that's going in front of the council Monday. I already know one certain council member who's gonna harass me about not having a plant chart in my.
Who would that be?
my work plan. Gantt chart. Timeline.
I loved it last year.
So I want to go through these things just so that we have that kind of timeline and we can keep ourselves honest. Susan, do you have some way of sort of like jotting down some dates and things as we go through these, so we can construct a calendar out of?
I will write notes down the side of my agenda.
I brought my agenda, I can tell you too, because I was a good one.
Great,
I brought 3 of them.
should we start with you?
I didn't
Know
know
what?
The calendar is so helpful
Yes.
too. It's really helpful.
We can start
too.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay,
All
so
right, so let's start with Stephanie with the geocaching. And the
geocaching,
kind of things I'm looking for here are like, we're not planning the things now.
okay,
Here's how long I'm gonna be planning it, when I expect to be done, when I'm gonna kick it off, and how long it's gonna run, these kinds of things.
okay, so first thing I need to know is how many art pieces we want to do a geocache of. So the geocache kits, that includes everything in the box, range anywhere from $16 on up to $33 each. So how many art pieces do we want to geocache? We can start slow, we can do them all at once. Because what you do is you bury the geocache, put everything in there, bury the geocache, and then you have to go ahead and link it onto the app, and it takes a couple weeks, sometimes up to a month to get the cache live.
All right, so these kind of details, because, so you're talking about burying stuff, so we need to know if and how we can bury
You
stuff.
don't have to bury them deep. These are boxes, so you can actually get different type of caches. You can get, they're called deciduous caches. So they look like acorns or something like that. And you can they're magnetic if you want. You put them on behind something. I put the geocaches under a bird feeder in my front yard. So that I do a kitty cache, so it's just got stickers for kids and stuff, and it's just laying right underneath the bird feeder so that they can find it, so you don't have to bury it.
Okay.
Now,
yeah,
the
that's
previous
probably
caches, you can get like a bird that actually sticks on a tree, so it's harder to find. A lot of people like those, but I feel like the boxes are easier, because you got kids doing it. No, you don't have to bury it, just sit them behind or next to the art piece and hope nobody steals it. Nobody really does anyways.
So again, I think we're planning our planning, and so that's an excellent question, and I think, so what I think I'd like here is, when will you be able to have that answer? And when we can all bounce it around. and
Well,
email
what do
it
you
there.
mean when I can have that answer? I just need to know how many art pieces you wanna do. Then I can give the answer to you right now.
But you need to know, you need to figure out, okay, so we say the rings, is there a place on the ring where we can magnetize it, or somewhere hidden where we can
I
bury
wouldn't
it?
put it on the art piece, I would put it behind the art piece. So just like the box goes right behind them, we just set it on the ground, that's it. And then inside the box, I don't know if everybody knows what a geocache is, I can show you here. So geocache is like a box that has stickers and like a little log book that they log, and they go to this path, and it's just prize hunting, you know, and they've got tags and all sorts of fun stuff that you can put in there, you can pass that around. That's a medium geocache. So you just kind of lay the box next to the art piece. You can do big boxes and just fill it up with a whole bunch of stuff. People will leave, when they take something, they'll leave something. Like I have someone at Parks and Rec, does these, remote logging, tools where you can log in the number, you pick up the coin and you log it in, and it tells you where you log it in, and it asks you to leave it at another cache. So you can do like this whole type of treasure hunting from place to place, and it's really kind of neat. But I think we need to make it simple for kids to find. So if we bury it, that's hard. If you do devious cache, that's okay, but they're also harder to find, I think. And also the other thing you gotta look at too is you can't have caches with a certain distance from one another. And you won't know that until you try to place a cache. So you actually have the boxes, and then you have to geolocate where you're gonna put it and submit it for approval. And it can't be within a certain radius, otherwise it won't be approved. So the best thing in my opinion to do is let's start with like 3 or 4 boxes and get them up and then go from there. And it'll take about 2 months to do.
Okay, so we have in our budget about $500
That's perfect.
for this project.
Yeah.
So,
We can roll that.
what's that?
How do they know about the cache?
How do they know about the program at all?
There's a lot of geocaches in Superior. So there's a geocache map that you go ahead and create a free account on if you're into treasure hunting. And apparently Superior is pretty big about it because there's so many geocaches all over Superior. I had no idea. I had no clue. And it's crazy. And so you go around and it tells you a hint of where the cache is at. So like we would do some type of puzzle, or like I do rhymes and poems so that they can locate them. And then you hide the geolocation. They can't see the geolocation, so they have to hunt for it. And then when they find it, they sign the logbook, and they can take a sticker, and then they'll have to leave something. If they take something, they have to leave it. The other thing a lot of people do, a lot of towns do, is they do a trash cache. So they'll put trash bags in a geocache and ask you to pick up trash around that location and throw it out. It's really cute. And somebody in Parks did that out on Coyote Ridge a couple of years ago. So there's a geocache up there, and like I said, I have one in my front lawn that's filled with like tiny Hello Kitty stickers for kids. So, and there's so many people that go right up to our house and sign the logbook. I've changed my logbook 3 times and it's been out for 6 months. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So they can just go all around. And we, of course, would advertise it and the link and everything too. So, yeah. But I mean, it takes a while to get a page set up. So I would like to go ahead and start purchasing at least a couple boxes between now and February, if that's possible.
Let's work to a little, so that I can share some of this information in columns,
Oh, yeah, okay.
just so they're aware.
Yeah,
So that we
yeah.
can turn around and
I would
ask
love
them
to know who at Parks did it. Do you have any clue? And there's somebody in the town that does this because she came out to my geocache box and filled it with a whole bunch of Superior coins, which was kind of cool. Yeah, apparently there's like geolocated coins I have now. I know, it's cute. So, but it's somebody in the town that's doing it. I just don't know who. Yeah.
So yes, we have $500, so
Okay.
you said they're about, the kits are like $30 each.
Well, it depends on what kit, like this one, I think is a good starting size. And this is only $20.99. Sometimes they're on sale, so maybe February they'll have a sale or something.
Okay,
And
so
then they have some really big expensive ones, but that's expensive.
for our next meeting, can you maybe plan half a dozen? So order half a dozen.
Yeah.
And come up with a plan for
What art pieces we want to map?
these are the places, and it sounds like you're gonna have to distribute them.
Yes,
And we'll have to submit them, we'll have to submit the final plan, I hear you on that.
Yeah.
You know, come up with your tentative plan,
yeah,
the merchandise or whatever it is we're gonna put inside them, all that
Okay.
stuff, so
all right.
1 month to do that.
Sounds good, yeah.
What would the merch be?
So the merch can be, all caches have like a logbook, it can be a regular book, or this little tiny flip book, because you have some geocaches that are like this big. They have some caches that are like tiny bolts that attach to a sign. It's so hard to find, it's crazy, yeah, let me show you that.
Do we need to buy stuff though? I guess?
Yeah, so this one is a kit, so it's a starter kit, so it's got everything in there, geolocating coin and stuff like that, so I would just buy some extra. If we could get any swag from the town of Superior, anything small like stickers, we're gonna get stickers.
We would need to have, that's what I'm saying, we would need to have something.
Yeah, something would be good. You know, just from, or a pencil, if there's like a Superior pencil, it would fit in that box, or pens.
Do people make them?
Yeah, so it's a treasure hunt, so
They
you
take
find a
the
box.
actual, like, mechanism?
No, they leave the box, so they hunt for the box, they'll open it, they'll sign the logbook, and they'll take something out of the box, and then they'll leave something. Usually it's like another geocoin that you have to register, and they ask you to, hey, drop this coin off like in another country or something. Yeah, it's really kind of cool,
It seems
so
like something you could do to promote like the different arts
That's the
projects.
point.
that's what we're doing, yeah,
Like you put
Yeah.
one at the mural, you put one at Coyote Hawk.
that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's it, so we're doing that to promote the art pieces that we have out in the public, and it's, everybody likes to treasure hunt, man, it's fun. And some of these are hard,
So plan for that,
okay,
due in February.
perfect,
Stained glass, looking, and we just,
in November,
yeah, is that okay? I mean, that's
do we
where it
wanna
depends
do
on it.
another one before then, or
And
no?
that's why there's a question mark on
Okay.
it, because I didn't.
So I was looking at June, if that's possible, or is it too late to get into publications for June?
You miss Hello Superior, but you can certainly.
What about July?
Regular stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, so
so we need to start gathering stuff.
good now,
Yeah.
okay,
July, we had Shelley printing penciled in. So we would just have, we'd be doing
August.
2 things in July.
how about August?
We can do.
Don't want to spoil them. Okay, we can't.
I mean,
When's the jelly from to you?
We're doing, the idea was to do this cadence, right? So we are doing workshops on 3rd Saturdays and seminars on 4th Tuesdays. And that's just to try to give people an idea that we're, look for a caps thing every 3rd Saturday, but we can fill in.
We could do August 15th.
You can do June, I mean, because there's a lot of different ways to publicize it besides hello.
Quickly too.
Yeah.
Besides hello,
Your
there's
things go-
always
your things
so
go right
much
up.
so
Yeah,
fast,
yeah.
so I wouldn't rely on hello for yours.
Let's do
If you
June,
want.
because I don't have a workshop in June right now, so that works out good. Okay, so would we do like the 3rd Saturday you're saying in June? So like June 21st?
Wasn't, yeah, didn't Jill say that you wanted to do?
Well, I was just wondering if we could pair the talk with the workshop.
But you had all talked about like having
Alternating.
consistent Saturdays. Yeah, just
We talked
starting
about
workshops.
alternating months, where they're in like, if there's a talk in June, then there's not a workshop in June,
Mm.
so.
So is there a talk in June?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll have to be July.
And July has a jelly printing, so we, I mean.
So it wouldn't work,
But
that won't work.
you've got to stay in class in the cadence, and I think that, I don't think we're gonna stop you from doing additional, if they're easy for you and you've got the materials, again, I
Well,
don't.
we have to buy materials, that we have to buy organized with, but we have everything else, I think, yeah.
So if you want to do it, and it's been popular, right, people have been,
Yeah.
so, you know, if you've got a weekend, then I don't see a problem with us.
So is your talk then on the 21st?
Well, we're
No,
open,
it's
we don't
not.
have a talk plan for June, so I
Okay.
would say that like, we're kind of open and like, there's a stained glass that makes sense with something else, then it like, they get.
Yeah.
Cause if it's, I don't know, the talk can be 30 minutes and the workshop can be an hour, is that how long they are?
Oh, no, you said like 4 or 5 hours.
On a Tuesday night?
No, on a Saturday.
No, she's not gonna do Tuesday night.
Yeah, that'd be Tuesday,
Yeah,
and
that's,
it's a Saturday event,
Oh, it's-
yeah.
Yeah, I think all of our talks are on Tuesday.
Talks are Tuesdays, workshops.
Okay, so back to June 21st. June
But you-
21st?
and we have the talk on June 24th.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
But
yeah, that
I
might
don't
be
think-
nice to pair them.
They don't compete with each other.
No.
No.
Yeah.
And I actually already have the November workshop for the 15th. I have that scheduled already.
Well, even in rough draft, he'll share this calendar and we'll start visiting Stacy's.
Perfect, right? Yeah,
Yep, and the 15th is by the skin
Saturday.
of its teeth, the third Saturday.
yeah. So that's two. Sure. You're next. All right, that's good.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right, does anybody want to go next? Sure, you got.
I will.
nominated.
I will.
All right, Suze. You want to pull up the package here?
Sure.
You can start talking.
Made a deck. So I basically recycled a lot of my ideas from last year. But in chronological order, the first one is, gotta wait, because I had too much fun with Canva. So my first event is going to be a drum circle, in Purple Park in June. I was thinking Saturday morning from 9 to 11 and Sunday the next day, from 9 to 11 as well. Because getting different people and community people, on Saturday and Sunday. It's a drop in and would be in the shade, maybe under the trees, which is really common for drum circles. And,
Is there any prep involved, or is this basically something that you announce and show up?
we announce and
Cheers.
show up, and I'm gonna borrow some instruments from the middle school and the high school and the other two middle schools, like djembe and congas and bongos and things like that, plus all the shakers and tambourines, and so that can be really flexible with the amount of people that come. I think probably a chair or, something to sit on under the grass, anything that other people need to bring, unless they want to get really creative about their percussion instruments. And I was thinking maybe of a contest for the most creative, unique drum. Like I've seen syncs, things like that.
Okay,
But-
so this is, there's no date here, is that intentional? This is just some
So
Sunday in June, some Saturday?
I, by the time when I made this deck, I wasn't really sure because I wasn't confident about the time, the dates, but I chose June 6th and June 7th. Unless there's a major conflict with any of those.
I don't know if we just scheduled something on the 21st, so.
Okay.
Works out.
Second one in, I'm fine, where is, July 4th, Battle of the Bands. It'll be because of the July 4th, I didn't want to put it too early because of the band for the pancake breakfast. And so I thought having it at the community center in the air conditioning between 1 to 4 might be a good idea.
You would need to get with Michaela at
Yeah.
events on this, because
Okay.
there's
They spill over
usually
here.
all day events
Okay.
going on here.
And
On July
that's
4th.
yeah, something I want.
And just a comment on June 7th, the Saturday, June 7th, there's also National Trails Day, so there'll be a bunch of stuff going out.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be it's a pretty big event,
Yeah, it can't be.
Trails.
yeah.
So we could just focus on Sunday,
Cool.
the 7th, and just one event, so two. Let's do that then.
You said 7th was trails?
7th is a Saturday, 8th is Sunday.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. Let's then just do Sunday,
Just
June.
June 8th. for-
Um,
Okay, all right, and so this guy, this feels fairly big. You're talking about registration, auditions.
so,
Waitlist.
yeah, the registration, I think can be the addition. I can learn more about that, and then, can also be a wait list. I think that, a prize for first, second, and third, is appropriate. Also, but it would be 6 bands for 30 minutes each with a 20-minute set and 10 on either side for setup and takedown.
For all ages?
Yeah, and then 3 or more.
Is there any possibility for a different date?
Yes.
I would maybe consider it, because I know they do close this
Okay.
facility for setting up the barbecue. Like, there's just a lot going on, and they may have a lot already planned and booked.
But can
'Cause
I,
a lot of times plan and book 6 months to a year in advance on a lot of things.
What about
So-
August?
I mean, that could work, yeah. But if you are kind of really wanting July 4th, I would definitely give.
I know, I thought it would be, enjoyable and something else to do.
Again, here, we're planning to plan in essence, right? So I would say, can you by the next month work for the details?
Yeah.
For the date with Michaela and me and JC and.
Yeah.
Bang out that date.
Okay, so, but I think I am gonna move it to August.
So I did judge a battle of bands with Sammy Hagar at his club in Cabo.
So you know all about it, you wanna be a judge?
Yeah.
Okay. Please add to the minutes that this is going to challenge, whatever day I pick. This is on the record, but, Mark Basis will be involved in this as well. I'll have to get it clear with him. The next events, Tuesday, September 23rd and Tuesday, October 14th, that's what I came up with. Just a drop-in band and orchestra kind of workshop / place to check my instrument's not working, or I've been practicing this and it doesn't sound right, or I need to play in front of somebody before, any of those. I'm going to hire some high school students for those events, woodwind, brass, percussion, and string, students, and also give them credit for volunteering, but I think that being paid is also a nice thing, so we'll see.
What was your other date? October?
14th, from 3:45 to 5:45, and an earlier drop-in, and an after-school thing. And what date in September? 23rd? Okay. And then I was thinking about having it here in the industrial line or in Longs Peak. Longs Peak is easier just because all of the different instruments can spread out, but I'm also aware that it might not be very big.
Okay.
So the 2 dates I chose for this, we're gonna be targeting or encouraging or including the singing population. Tuesday, November 18th from 10 to 12, and Tuesday, December 1st, a different time, 2 to 4, just to see if that would change that. I have 100 tune songbook, and people can come and either sing the songbook or play, if they can read lead sheets, just bring your instrument and play along. Very accessible, and I think this type of music is going to be really enjoyable to that community. My dad's cool enough 5 community. And my final event is a Swiftie karaoke party.
Finally,
Yes. December 13th is a Saturday. It is her birthday. It's 21 and older. I think there will be a good emphasis on decorations with a projector, Gigi, and then trivia, costume contests, a photo booth, and a lot of obnoxious fun social media.
I know that usually between,
Yeah, but it's January. We're
I
gonna get
know.
on it.
I know, but December has usually always had its almost,
If
the
they,
bazaar, or there's usually the same events.
yeah, they usually hire the Saturday night entertainment already, So I'm also pretty comfortable.
Could be conflict is all I'm saying.
Could it be on the previous Friday, the 12th?
We don't see any you didn't see any conflicts here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's usually, there's like every weekend in December, it's traditionally always been the same things, like this is this weekend and Winter Fest is this weekend, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we'll have to kind of keep our eye on the calendar.
What else do you need?
Yeah, so you went through this with a pretty good plan already, but so I think, it's a lot of events.
More details, yeah.
Yeah, just, I mean, we need to start getting rooms, getting them on the calendar, making them formal. If they're gonna happen, they need, you know, we gotta,
It's a lot.
but a lot of these are low impact, right? A lot of these are you, like, drum circle is, it's all you know, it just needs to be publicized.
We're same with drum and band and orchestra, it's very little.
Right.
And the song and strum, again, it's communication and logistics, but
Right.
they're very low impact to me. And setting up and having to teach something or run a workshop, it's things that I just do.
Right.
They're very easy.
So you, Susan and JG work on nailing down, like formalize the dates, make sure you have rooms, and we can advertise them from now until December, you know, and get attendance and the big ones, so the Battle of the Bands, I mean, that's a pretty significant thing for the town. Maybe gonna work out a new date and start to figure out how to make that happen.
Don't we have that trailer?
The Parks trailer,
Can
yeah,
we do a battle of the bands in that? Is that,
in it.
I don't know, what is it, is it a stage?
It's like full of tables and chairs, and stuff, so you can have a black.
Okay, games. It's
Corn-
meant for
cornhole.
pulling up and
It's like a portable cornhole.
It's a portable block party.
it's for block parties.
Oh, okay.
It's equipment.
You just back it into the cul-de-sac and then you have girls, coolers, cornhole, chairs and tables.
And then there's a music pavilion down there by the Tesla.
I'll cover this summer.
Is that where you have it or no here?
I was thinking indoors, just not to make it, I think indoors is a lot easier than doing outdoors.
Weather dependent.
Yeah, there's a bunch of venues. I mean, we've got the Plaza and we've got Spirit of Commons and we've got here. And like, School of Rock has done a thing here and it was hopping. That was cool. Okay, Battle of the Bands is pretty big. Karaoke party is pretty big. So yeah, try to work on rooms and dates for February and then I'm not sure how to proceed with the big ones. Verify dates for the big ones and then maybe, I guess, formulate an outline as to how we're gonna plan those. Okay, like,
Well, sorry, I missed the Superior. But, Hello Superior deadline for the drum circle, but the rest of them I can hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't get into Hello unless we have everything. Remember the content, the high-res photos, like all the details. So unless we have that, we can't anyway, but you know, we have smaller publications.
but that's okay. I mean, I think my opinion of what you're trying to do here is just have a bunch of cool, low-key events for residents that are interested in the thing. And it doesn't need to be a big Hello Superior or whatever, you know, just a couple of times like open mic night, right? Come as you are.
It's a little bigger.
Yeah, sounds great. Okay. Thanks, is, let's see, anybody else jump into, plan?
I said I'd do September, a workshop.
Yep.
Are we doing the third Saturday? I mean, I do the 20th.
No clue. Calendar, September 3rd, Saturday is the 20th.
Time did I do before? Like,
Do we have a time for the workshops? We do.
are we doing time or just day? You want the time and the day?
Um,
Do you care?
you can pick it, or because it's in September, you can tell me when you're gonna pick it.
Well, September 20th is fine. Let's just nail that down and then. Do you remember, Stephanie? How long did I do?
Well, you always want extra time to set up. I like 2 hours for setup, obviously, because I'm slow.
Okay, I don't need 10 hours.
Whatever, to show off.
That is light.
Yeah, I think, I find 1 to like 4,
Yeah,
I think.
do that.
Yeah. And give yourself, make sure you put the room from 12 to 5 though. Do the workshops have a $500 budget each? Are we doing that again, or what do we do?
Workshops total, hang on. $2,000 for all of them,
Okay.
of which we are currently expecting there to be 5.
Well, the second state last one, we won't have to fee because we'll buy everything first.
Right.
Yeah.
We can share
It's
between.
perfect, yeah, okay.
All right, Liza, while we're on you and Brandon too, let's talk about the murals. So again, we're just talking timeline, right? Because it took us all year to get the big mural. So like, what's going through the year, we've got this idea of doing the big mural. We had talked about perhaps using the second place mural. The tunnel is
Yeah.
not built.
Right,
So
that was
there's
kind
that.
of dependent on that, it's one of the cart before the horse things, so if we want to move forward with that, we can talk to who Leslie and find out if we have a date or when we will have a date.
Councilperson Shaw, do you, any idea on when the tunnel under Rock Creek Parkway will actually be complete?
Yeah, we just, actually, it's supposed to be, I would say, the end of July.
Oh, that's actually not nearly as scary as I expected.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
We're in that fall
We,
window again. We'll be
Split
like-
that right in November, is fine.
Just like last
Just
year.
plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, November, not an issue. I think the real question is gonna be, is it done in July or August or September?
Yeah.
It's like, I think the goal, the CDOT grant, everything's going forward. I think it's just a question of making.
Mm.
So.
I guess we could just check in with the artist and be like, can you jump and start painting if we wanted to do that? What else would we need to do to get it approved since she's already been sort of vetted before?
Right, second place.
Yeah, it was the
That's
foxes.
the one we're talking about.
I
Yeah,
didn't know there was a second place.
well,
The two ladies.
Well, there were 3 finalists and remember,
So Road Love got third.
yeah,
We picked AJ and we gave the board the whole packet.
Oh, okay, we came up with the first, second, and third. Okay,
That's right.
Confused. I thought maybe the.
And the board at the time, I say board because it was the board at the time.
That's what it was.
They debated our choices, went with us because we picked it, but it was very close between first and second, and it was close for us too, and it was close for them. And the thought was, if we all liked that second place one so much, maybe we can just.
Try to find a wall.
save ourselves an RFQ.
Yeah.
Basically.
Maybe there's a building, so I mean,
So there is another tunnel.
but that design is really works well with the same approximate length as the other one.
Oh my God. I don't even know that could ring. Oh my God. My 16-year-old daughter, I don't even want to know what she wants. How do I make it not be that? Dear.
All right, again, in the spirit of planning to plan, so we're thinking, let's try to pretend like we're gonna paint it in August. And then backing up from there, what do we need to do to get board approval? Talk to the artist and make sure they're willing to paint it, you know, these kinds of things in the time leading up to them. And of course, we have to wait on the tunnel, but.
What? Can you say that again? I'm really distracted by that.
I mean, it seems like a plug and play. I mean, once the tunnel's done, you reach out to the artist and you say, hey, you guys still interested? And maybe they'll say yes. You're gonna offer them $17,000.
I mean, so is that the, we're building calendars, so we could wait until July to start the big mural planning at all, or we could start in March or something, but no. Feelers,
Yeah, I think we should
asking the
ask her.
council,
Yeah.
seeing if they're still interested.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to have a mural that's not in a tunnel, like,
I agree.
right?
Well,
Like
Yeah.
on the side of this liquor store, like, I don't know.
And so we have a rather large budget for murals because we thought this when we built this budget, right? So we had $20,000 for the murals. And that one ought to be in the 17K range. So then we've got more for the small murals. So we were talking about some kind of found art project or, you know, a building mural
Is
or.
there anything in like downtown Superior? Is there any walls?
Well, here's the thing, we're getting bogged down in actual planning, and I want the mural subcommittee to tell me, when are you gonna have a plan for what we're doing with the small?
Oh, are we
murals?
supposed to just go and knock on doors and find walls? Is that what you need us to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the town's gonna build a new, maintenance facility probably by the middle of 2026 down by the
So
dog park.
get with me and yeah.
Yeah, cause I always imagine most of these are renters, like, you're gonna be like, I just rent from whatever person.
Well, I know Berksmore is pretty open to art right now, we're in the marketplace.
But, you know, Liza do you wanna share what you did where you took a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
images and then me, Leslie and Liza had a meeting and she kind of went through a slideshow and said, you know, literally location by location, and Leslie was able to say, yes, that could work because this, or it won't work because of that. You know, town property versus non-town property, you know, like all the ins and outs, so yeah,
Okay, so we set up another mural committee meeting,
yes.
so
I
not
think-
everyone has to hear this.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's, you know, there's all the hurdles. There's where do they go? The budget, how do you find artists and do they have to be bid and all that stuff, you know? And either,
We know all those answers this time.
exactly, you're a pro.
It's gonna be
So,
smooth.
so what do we say? March, you're gonna bring me a plan in March as to how you're gonna paint your small murals? Yeah. Okay,
Do we have one in February?
Do we have those learnings documented anywhere?
Right here.
But I am gonna check them out.
okay. So good on the small ones, the big mural, are we truly just gonna wait till the summer and then wait on the tunnel and then go gangbusters on it? Is that, yes?
I'm fine with that, then Brandon had to throw in the walls on the outside.
We're doing both. You knocked down all the red tape for the murals, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do a big one and a small one or small ones. All
I
right, so,
think a part of your plan could be a timeline for connecting with the artists, the boxes,
Yeah,
you know,
and see.
as that timeline tightens up.
Yeah.
You
She
know,
might be
like
booked.
incorporate that
Yeah.
timeline into your plan for like just keeping in touch with the
Yeah,
artists.
and see if that's even a possibility.
Yeah.
Before we plan on it.
all right, so I'm penciling in like June to reopen the big mural and start doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Right, Liza, I think that's you off the hook. But Brandon and Sherry and Susan all have, so this community art exhibition pop-up thing that we talked about and is a little bit hazy in my mind as to what we had in mind for that.
Is that yard sale?
Yard work?
That was one of my ideas too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a community engagement thing.
Mhm.
So I have a venue for free.
She's got it.
All you gotta do is define what it is. And they just need 30 days notice at Bricksmore.
You had an idea for that though.
yeah, so
Well-
what is it? You give it, refresh us on.
Okay, so what it was supposed to be is, an exhibition of superior community artists. So it could be children. I talked to, CV Arts today, like they have all these children's workshops. You could talk to the schools. So if you did 2 tents, you could have adult artists from Superior. And then you could have children artists from Superior, make an event, ask the dance company if they want to do a performance.
Yeah.
The improv wants to do some collaborations with the art organizations down there. So it's like one giant thing all come together.
The
Right.
reason community is the town's declaring it the Arts District of Superior. Down there.
I don't know if the town's declaring it, but
The mayor said he
but
would.
Steve Leeds is.
But,
So right there in the sheriff's parking lot where they do the,
Well, we didn't say which
Trump-
parking
Trump
lot,
Street.
but yeah, I asked, could we do a pop-up exhibit in like one of the empty buildings down there? Or can we do it in the parking lot with tents? And she said she was okay with either one for free, but she would do the tents because it would be more visible to people going to Costco. Everybody goes to Costco and sees what's going on. So they just
spaces.
So there's lots of room, and I said probably September-ish, so it wasn't
They
like
would pay for.
burning your paws on
No.
the,
That's-
Oh, she didn't say they would pay for the tents.
Okay.
She just said she wouldn't charge us to be in the parking lot and she'd be okay with us having it there.
We'd have to use like, the fence we used
We don't have to pay to be there.
Go ahead, use that.
Oh, did we? So we would have to rent tents then for it.
We have $8,000 budget for that right now.
Well, I could ask her. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. Would you be willing to donate the tent space? Or we could go in, one of the empty spots.
We could also ask the council, because they said if we needed more money for an event, go bring it to them, so we can do that. Right, Neil?
Fair,
Yeah, we can bring it to you
I
guys.
don't know how many people were here. We did the main event
Yeah,
in Brixmore, was it 2019, 2020?
yeah,
There's a lot of work to work with Brixmore back then, so, but they did, give us some things at the time.
oh, they did?
Don't recall what they did, if anything specific,
Yeah.
but, they might be willing to do something more than just, parking lots.
Let me be in the parking lot.
But before the town contributes, we want to know that we've asked,
Yeah,
Brixmor,
for that.
they'd be here.
And they want a detailed plan before you. They want to know like what specifically,
what we're doing.
who's gonna be there, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, so we need to start, so backing up from a September event, I mean, it sounds like maybe you need to start those feelers pretty much immediately to me, so.
Right, find out like what the cost would be and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Brixmor may have like some restrictions, like if it's in the parking lot, they're going to barricades, so it doesn't actually accidentally drive into the event.
Right,
Right.
and, pitching tents on asphalt is a lot harder to secure down. I guess.
Well, I
as
heard
opposed
that,
to grass.
before I was on CAPS committee, they had asked the parks if they could do an art exhibit in Founder's Park, and they said no, because people would be stepping on the grass.
Yeah,
Which I thought, are people not stepping on the grass now? Because how are they getting there? But I mean, that would be a great place too.
but they're very open to it now. They want a lot more art and events down there because they're trying to promote the
I mean, a
marketplace.
vacant space sure would be a lot easier.
But
And weather,
But-
no matter what the weather was, it would be all right.
that's the problem, is the vacant spaces are in a lot of need of repairs. So,
But not that
Well,
one.
there's none on the
Oh,
back
the-
wall anymore, right? 'Cause
There's what?
there's none on Costco's wall anymore, right, now that, Barnes and Noble's moved in.
Yeah,
there's
there's
nothing.
none over there. But that place where I always forget what the name is, something to do with brains.
oh, and the
And
restaurant's
science.
leaving, the restaurant at the corner, they're out too.
They're-
That's a big one.
They own that building, that's not.
Oh, they do? Darn, never mind.
They're gonna use that as an event space.
Yeah,
We can always reach out to the owner, David.
right.
The pool.
Yeah.
Barrows is there? Barrows is moving out?
Yeah,
He already moved along now.
Interesting.
But that brain place has like 13 different rooms in there, which
Yeah.
would be excellent, and all the wall space, and in the hallways, there's wall space.
We could clean that up.
There's a little tiny town when you go in.
Cause even
Yes,
with
yeah.
tents, then you'd have to like, how are you gonna exhibit?
Yeah.
All right, Sherry, this is not small.
A lot.
Realistically, when can you bring us kind of a plan?
Realistically.
Yeah, I mean,
She needs a
I could
committee to
just,
help.
I could just say,
She needs a subcommittee
I
first.
could just say February, but I'm not sure that's realistic. But
I think you need like at least two, maybe three helpers on a subcommittee.
Well, subcommittee.
Yeah.
How long,
Okay,
how
well,
long
you
would they
know,
give you, how long would they give you a storefront?
I don't know.
Oh, for a pop-up?
Yeah.
For a
Just a weekend, that's it.
Oh, just a weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we can't keep
Probably.
it. We'd like to keep it, but no.
I can ask.
Sure, yeah.
I could ask if they could, what their time frame is.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, like a month would be great.
Right.
We could do events, right, back to back in there.
Yeah,
Oh. That would be cool.
place to put the screens for a while.
Yeah,
Okay, but they need like whatever you're doing
they gotta prove it.
written down specifically and they
Yeah.
approve it.
That makes sense though, So we need to get you helpers, right, a subcommittee as well, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
So does anybody else wanna-
Subcommittees can only be two people.
I'll help, but can anyone else help too?
me too.
Right.
You and Jared.
Oh, that's it, just us? I thought she could have two helpers. We've done that before. We had two people in subcommittees.
Yeah, so subcommittee can just be two people.
Right. but she wouldn't be on this. We've had that before.
Two.
But we can't be three of us doing anything outside.
So what we do is we met with one person from the subcommittee, met with the leader and then left, and then the second person out of the leader.
You can, but technically, a subcommittee should only be two.
I think when the mural committee was like two, and then when we judged it, it became like six.
We made it work.
Does anyone who
session.
doesn't work have a lot of time to help with this? Think about it. Anyone?
When is it?
I'm not allowed to say into things.
September.
So if you do a larger
Yeah.
group, we have to do an announced work session
Yeah.
on the calendar,
Okay.
an agenda.
Liza, do you have time to help?
I am super dairy.
There you go. Okay, so you're the subcommittee.
Okay.
I'll just be there to help. I won't be official on the subcommittee.
Sherry and Liza
Yes.
working on this.
Okay, so I'm confused.
She's gonna be an assistant for you to help you out.
You're just gonna tell me where-
Stephanie just kindly volunteered
Liza.
Liza to help you.
Yes. And you know I'm gonna help you
You
out.
could understand my confusion then. Okay, so,
So my question is, realistically, again, all these questions about, is it in the parking lot, or, you know, what will they give us? Will they help us with tents, or will they give us a pop-up for September and all that stuff? Not all the details, but some of those questions answered. When can we come back as this group and sort of start?
So in February 20th, she should be able to, I mean, they're responding to Sherry quickly, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So next week, yeah.
because of my threatening manner.
She's so sweet.
The next meeting
Sherry's too nice.
for this.
But,
I'm the main
I
one.
mean, if it ends up being too big of a thing, then that's okay, but, I was just thrilled. They said you could go in the parking lot. I'm like, yay.
Just to have them even
I
be
didn't know how much
interested is so amazing because, you know, in the past, when we've asked, it was like nothing. And now it's like, yes. So,
MDC has their trunk or treat out there every year and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
And a backup.
it's big. Can we do March? Let's say March, you'll have a lot of these. to
Yeah,
talk about in March.
and I'm supposed to be having a meeting with the improv and I can talk to the dance people and all that because maybe they could help out with some.
With some donations and also just getting commitments,
Or dance, or do a dance at it, you know?
right, getting
Yeah.
commitments from the various places.
Yeah, and like, isn't there a chorus in Superior? Maybe they want to come and sing. at it
Yeah,
or something
Superior
like
Choir,
that.
Superior.
And a backup spot, if Brixmore doesn't work out, with the new space in downtown should be done this summer.
So the
Great,
dance
that's what I was
troupe
just gonna
can't
ask.
use the outdoor thing. What did they say? It wouldn't fit their troop, right?
The indoor thing, not the
Okay.
outdoor.
Yeah, I'm talking about the indoor space should be done by this summer.
So with the garage doors and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't know that anything's been programmed yet for it.
Yeah.
Like I think right now we're just waiting for the construction to get done.
So how would you program for it then? Like, how would we be able to plan for it?
You just plant a flag and call it yours. We don't have a calendar yet, so, you know, hey,
We're talking September.
It's mine,
Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah, done by
I
September.
mean, to Chris's point, you know, if Caps wants the space for, 4 weeks and we're doing that now, I think it's reasonable to sort of.
Do an art show.
Yeah.
Create a local art show
Yeah.
in the new space.
Yeah, because the first thing you're gonna hear from the board is how are we using the new space? Oh, sorry, the council.
Yeah, we want to create a
That
local art
wasn't-
show.
I
And they
thought
did
there wasn't
the-
that much
the
wall space
plaza-
there.
Yeah,
that
there's
kind of
not.
stuff.
There's not a lot of
There's
wall space.
A
but-
lot of issues downtown, so. I don't know.
Okay, again,
We
no,
need to do
we're
something.
gonna get in trouble trying to plan the whole year in the next 45 minutes.
Well, that's
so-
what you asked for, you're getting it, Andrew.
No, we're planning the plan.
We got our agenda ready.
You guys go off.
We'll get as much information as we can.
Get more information, come back to it in March with all the answers.
Okay.
Okay. Sherry, since we are already harassing you,
Never ends.
so you've got the two physical projects, which are relatively small, very cool, the Rainworks and the Peace Points.
Right, the,
Target dates, let's start with
okay,
when we make them happen.
the rainworks obviously has to be when it rains. So
To be visible,
it
right?
does not work. If there's no rain, it's invisible. We'll never find it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that May or June, April, it still snows and blizzards us.
You have to do it on a rainy day?
No, you have to have a rainy day for it to become visible.
Oh.
So it's invisible You
Right.
spray it.
Right.
It's like invisible spray paint
Water
sort of.
activated
Yeah,
paint.
so if you
Oh,
take
cool.
stencils of some sort, you can make your own stencils, you need a location to do it. Then when it rains, like you hit social media,
I have an
like,
idea.
get outside and find it.
Do it near fire hose
Mhm.
and then have, you know.
Firemen.
Now then,
Proposing have an event where like.
it's not a surprise then, it has to be a surprise like a hunt, so we put it through like downtown or
We
wherever
can
we
put a
decide to
geocache
put
next to
it,
it too.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody knows.
Okay, so.
But they won't know unless it's raining.
But it has to rain, so what I'm thinking is I get the, I think it's spray, and I get that, I get a stencil. I go somewhere like the driveway, test it out, and then throw a bucket of water on it and see how it works first before we
Mhm.
invest in a bunch of it. If I
So
don't,
let's back up from finished product. You want it done kind of in the spring so that we can see it in late
Right.
spring, early summer, right?
Right.
So completion in May,
yes,
okay?
and I think it lasts 4 to 6 weeks, so you have some little bit of time for it to rain.
Okay, and so leading up to that, you've got the previous step is doing it, I guess, so you do it in May. Then you're acquiring materials, getting permission, I think, to put it on whatever sidewalk or place.
Of course, they wouldn't know unless. You can put it everywhere.
We're gonna put it all in front of your house.
But yeah, I would say.
As soon as it rains, your house is gonna light up.
I've already used
All
the
the area.
I've already used the chalk on my driveway.
But we're not doing it on your driveway. You're getting a new paint job.
So yeah, so I'll get one spray bottle of it and test it and see like, does it seep under stencils or whatever and make sure it works before we actually do it.
And working out whatever pattern you think, do ultimately.
Yeah.
I mean, your example showed some hopscotch and some,
Oh
geometric.
yeah, they did like all kinds of stuff. Maybe it could be the Town of Superior logo or
That would be
You know
cool.
what the paint is called?
Rainworks.
Rainworks.
Yeah,
And it only lasts 4 to 6 weeks.
I think-
after you paint
I
it.
believe it said 4 to 6 weeks that it would last through. It didn't say how many rains, but I don't think we have to worry about it. Too much rain.
That's what I meant, like, what if it doesn't rain? We could like.
Water hose.
Hose it, that's what I'm
And
saying.
there's the splash pad.
Yeah.
On the spot.
There you go.
They never turn on.
Then everybody goes out with. That's
Big
true.
bump.
Everybody would have to go out with giant spray bottles, like those insect spray things
It just seemed like.
on a wagon.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Show you.
Everyone's like, what?
Look on the ground. Just wait for the clouds.
All right. Thank you all for your very helpful comments.
Where would you do it?
And your next one, the peace
All right,
totems.
well, so in April, Sherry, please have the materials, the location and your plant pattern, I guess, so that we can do it in May.
Okay,
And if you want to run a test, that sounds like a good idea to me, so.
yeah, I would not do
Houses
that
with
test,
lots of
because that could be embarrassing.
That's my front porch.
There you go.
Get wet either. All right, peace poles.
Okay, the peace poles, are fence posts, the big, I don't know what they are, 8x8, 6x6. They have to be dug into the ground now, so there's that. And my idea was to put solar light caps on them,
I'd like-
because I thought we were gonna put them somewhere along the artery and it would light up intersections or
Yeah.
make it easier for coyotes to see where they're going.
Is this a caps painting, residence painting?
I-
What is the-
Well, I was thinking that you put out the thing to the public, like Girl Scout troops or
Yeah.
groups could paint, I mean, because I don't want to paint them all.
Okay, so not necessarily an event, but you just put out a thing that says, we'll deliver you a pole to the Girl Scout troop meeting. or
Yeah, sort of
whatever.
like what the prairie dogs did. You just put out, we're gonna put X amount, however many we decide to do, 3, whatever. And
Schools.
see who wants to maybe submit a little design or something. And there's 4 sides, so they paint on 4 sides. and it could be directional. You know, with arrows and
So we have
name the path or something.
$500 slated for the project. I don't, you know, if we got
I
treated
think I had-
4x4s or 6x6s.
Yeah.
Solar caps.
With solar caps.
And do we provide paint or ask the,
I would think that we would have them provide the paint, like the prairie dogs, we did our own paint.
Well, that was different though, because we like put a call out for the artists, right, for prairie dogs. We put a call out for them. And it wasn't like, it wasn't an event, it was like more,
But it was invitational.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this is
Well,
like,
you-
but I like they did the Girl Scout trees, man, there's so many of them, it's.
yeah,
great.
you're gonna have to put out some kind of,
Yeah.
we're doing this, who wants to paint them, and this is where we're gonna put them kind of.
Yeah.
okay, so how do we answer all those questions? First of all, when do we want to mount them?
Doesn't have to be in the rain, so anytime you can dig into the dirt.
Before the ground faces.
Sometime, we're thinking summer.
I think over the summer, yeah.
You're gonna be busy. Let's see, you've got a March clay workshop. You were doing rainworks early, so let's say July for installing them.
That sounds good.
And then leading up to that, we've got to answer the questions of installing them, working with parks, you know, if you're gonna do them in Circle Park or whatever, we're gonna have to talk with the town. And then backing up from that, a call. Figuring out, how and how they buy materials and reach out to the Girl Scout troops and such.
Do they need to be like sealed, because you brought some sort of quality control, like after, where they're all the same, right?
Otherwise, the tax sprinkles will ruin.
I will donate the sealer. I've got the sealer for what we do with prairie dogs, I can
So
donate
that
that.
we could do that or something
Yeah, we can do that
afterwards, just to
in-house.
make sure they're
Yeah.
they all wear evenly.
UV protected, like what we would do with the dogs, on UV protected,
Yeah.
coated, it's good for like, I think they're certified for like 5 years, but every year we just put it. Oh, yeah, it's good for everything. You could eat it if you wanted. Drink it with coffee, spray paint in the morning, wake up.
All right, so let's see. Just looking at all the things you've signed up for here.
Actually, yeah, well, jelly printing, this would be wild if we actually use gelatin, but there are plates that are really wiggly called jelly plates.
Yeah.
So that would be the expense there, paint and jelly plates. Or we mix up Knox gelatin and that is fun.
So you moved on to the jelly printing workshop.
Yeah,
So that's July, and it would end up being
the 19th.
the 19th. Right, and so that has a pretty limited, you need to buy supplies and get on comms calendar with media and your. Okay, that was.
When you do your samples, I know you have the hopscotch images, but.
Oh, that was just what I took from the rain.
Right, but again, just, be thinking images for promotion. So if you don't use one that you're finding online, when you do your test, take pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Can we also discuss on these workshops where we're getting deposits? I know we've spoken about this before, but having the workshops full and people not show up is a huge issue. And we talked about doing some type of deposit. I think we need to enforce that this time, especially for the jelly prints,
Or just flat out, just charge for the workshop.
There we go. Yeah, so what can we charge for
Deposits,
workshops?
because then getting them back.
Yeah,
Well, no, it's not a deposit, but it's a minimal, $5 or something, just so that.
$5 or $10.
I think 10's good. It's 5 is like, man, I lost 5, 10 is like, that's almost what that is.
Remember, we talked about
Really? I don't know.
when the money
It's
goes,
5 years ago.
the part of the issue too around that is
Refunding.
the payment goes into the general fund, it doesn't go back into the caps, but
Right.
because
But
it's
they
not a
said they would
checking.
mark it for caps later if we want to use it for an extra funds. We
I'm
can-
not sure we even care.
Not really.
The money.
Not really. I mean, $10 is just so that we can confirm that, they're invested,
It's about
right?
your
Yeah.
skin of the game.
So let's do that for these workshops and make sure that, There's,
That could be a good, yeah, agenda item for future, unless you have time to talk about it tonight, but maybe.
And for each event, I guess.
yeah,
we
every
decide
$10,
how
that's
much
good.
we-
I think 10 is good. 5 is,
I think that's good, better than 5.
yeah, I think I could lose 5. 10 I would remember. Yeah, 10,
10 hurts.
10,
We need to
it does, I don't know why, but just, you know, at $10, you're a little more aware of it. Maybe that's it, it's a mindset thing.
It saves for supplies and
Yeah,
no one would say anything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just call it a materials fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't actually get it, so it goes to the town.
Yeah, but we call it that.
Oh, that's a good idea, call that.
Yeah.
I like it. So let's do it. Do we have to vote on it?
No.
Okay, good.
All right, let me step in on some of mine. So the photo walk is a May event, May 17th. I've actually got a verbal agreement with the local photographer to be our instructor on that. Met him today, Lisa McAllister. Fantastic landscape photographer, local. But I guess my question for this group was, for calendar, the 17th is the third Saturday, but we had a rain day last time. And the 24th is Memorial Day weekend, which I think is a non-starter. We don't wanna, I won't even be in town. People won't.
What do you mean by the rain day?
It rained the day that they were supposed to be out doing their walk.
So
I think it's gonna rain again. Like,
Well, I
They
booked
need a
both.
rain date, any outdoor, a lot of outdoor things need to have a potential
what
rain
about the
date.
31st?
I was actually wondering about backing up and doing the 10th and the 17th. So our actual date would be the rain date and 10th would be the prime date.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
And Casey was amenable to that. We talked about it a little bit. So that would be 5:10 with the rain date to 5:17.
what's the time of that?
It ended last time at like 5, it's like a 2 to 5 type thing. Still hammer out those details, so. Maybe I'll start to get you details for publication.
Have you ever thought of doing like the photo one, like with the snow in the winter? I wonder if that would be cool to teach people about like aperture and stuff, like if it's like different shooting,
Yeah,
like a white.
It's cold.
Just very cold,
Yeah.
potentially touch her.
it was a fair weather group last year.
Okay, and for May? Even
Yeah,
May?
so we actually did do our rain date last year, but the group was, it was all ages, but the average age was, I don't know, I would say maybe 50. So it's kind of a fair weather crowd. All right, next thing for me and JG was these plaques, rolling out these plaques. So I was thinking by February, we can figure out, kind of rank the pieces, right? So by February, how many do you think we can do? Maybe 10, or at least list top 10 and start going down our list.
Could I get that list? Cause that would be my ideal geocache targets.
Has anybody looked at Superior's new website?
Oh,
It looks much nicer, and JG's got the catalog up there, and
There
so,
are some edits that I already know about, so
Yeah.
if you fit into that.
when did they
So
change it?
About a week ago.
About a week ago.
Maybe I have them.
It's easier to find stuff.
all right, so by next month, we'll sort of pick our top 10 list that we'll work down, and then by March,
Oh.
let's come up with the format. Like a vendor. We'll start printing them.
So this is, whoops. This is the new site. And instead of all those red buttons,
Yeah,
these buttons are up based on popular search. So it's not a static
At
site.
the top does have the categories, I think.
Yeah.
nice.
So show them your art gallery. Birds in history.
Already.
See, this isn't even updated yet, so
Yeah. But do the collection, it's nice.
Yeah,
So we can, using this as a reference, we can go through and pick the top 10 thing need to have labels this year. Work our way down that list.
So there's some glitches and things, but for the most part, they're there.
I love that piece.
Yes.
Not everything migrated over correctly. But we're still working out some.
So you got them by name. Okay, so you said your twice. Okay.
Yeah, and that was one of the glitches, like it bundled, like if an artist has two pieces in the collection, it was all under one, and I was like, no, they gotta be separate. Cause people, you see something and you go to the website and you're going by sight, you're like, what was that?
And we'll work out, if we're gonna put a QR code, we'll work out like the URL redirect, so if this changes, we can point to the right place there and not change the flags.
Where's that Gregory Fields peacock?
So on the,
That is at Community Park, so that was the other,
Never seen it.
On mobile, it's just names with no images.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say, on mobile, it looks like this. So they need to fix that.
good to know.
Yeah,
So if you click on it on your mobile, nothing pops up?
that will pop up.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't have the thumbs.
Yeah, now the thumb image is
Gotcha.
kind of contact there.
Yeah, and see, and like my locations, I don't like that you have to hover. Like,
Right.
I can't hover on mobile.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's it.
yeah, and so there's a lot of little things we've gotta work out here, cause, I would prefer that
So like it should have the
locations.
name of the thing too. Like it just has his name, picture.
So lots of things, I don't wanna.
Oh, wait, no, that's gonna be the logo right there, look. On the mobile.
Did you cover?
I think I did. Yeah, I did. I just clicked the thing. I hovered
Anyway,
it. I clicked it, I hovered it. We're getting Arnie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of nice because again, it just sort of emphasizes the arts and history and which was sort of the whole. Both have collections, both have a lot of common
You're on there.
elements between the two.
You're on there.
So it's kind of nice.
All right, so JJ and I in the next month, we'll rank some of these for what we want to try to label this year. And then the following month, we'll try to come up with a format for the plaque of it.
Like this. Oh, I think you have something.
They'll start from that. Chris, let's get to you, especially with the monumental artwork. What are you thinking for?
I really don't know what to make of that, since it's not really an official program.
No, it's in the work plan, giving us permission to now figure it out. Yeah.
So I don't really know what to make of that.
But I think, if you were tomorrow to find a sponsor and a piece of art and we could take it to the board in February, I think we would just do that. That's, we're at liberty to do that.
So I also feel a little bit kind of at odds in terms of like my ability to go have conversations with potential sponsors. Can't represent that I'm from represent the town or that we've got this thing in motion. So it feels a little catch-22-y.
Yeah, we do that.
Councilman Shaw. How do you feel about, so, once it's not in the work, it's not approved in the work plan yet, but it probably will be on Monday. So now we've got the board's permission essentially to pursue monumental artwork and sponsors. What is his ability to go talk to Tesla and say, will you give us $100,000?
Yeah, and I think this gets back to the lack of the town having a separate sort of foundation.
Vehicle.
Yeah, vehicle platform. Louisville's got the library foundation. And that, they're able to, the library foundation effectively buys all the books at the library, the interest on all the money that they've got from the foundation. People can contribute to the foundation and Louisville buy their water. It's just, this got set up years ago. The historical commission, they sell those historical commission books, but the money goes into the general fund and it doesn't find its way back to the historical commission because we don't have a way to do that. And I think even, just within the way that we've set up caps, getting access to the LCFD money is not easy because of the generalness of our funding. So in the grand scheme of things, someone somehow needs to create a 501c3 for the town. Personally, I'm kind of trying to work on a path to do that, through Superior Rising, which kind of has, disbanded. That might be something that we could use effectively over time. It's not ready yet. But, you know, to the degree that anybody wants to make a donation to this town, we don't have a way to take it. Right, the town, nobody wants to donate to the town, to be honest, like, it's attachment enough.
Does Louisville have a tax for that?
If you donate to the Louisville Library Foundation, you will, 501c3, so you can do that. Louisville City Council has no impact, they don't get to direct that money at all. So the key thing here is, you know, some sort of foundation would have to receive this money, and they'd have to be able to get IGA with the town, so that, you know, the town would then allow that money legally spent to put a piece of art somewhere that everybody usually agrees to.
Yeah.
So there's some work that needs to happen. I don't think any of it's gating to start having those conversations, with the assumption that we would, as a community, figure out how to take this money. Because, you know, with the memorial for the Marshall Fire, there might be people that want to contribute to that,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna want to write a check to the town superior.
No.
Right, so I think we need to find a way, and this has come up a couple of times, because the historical commission, you know, we had dinner with them 9 months ago, brought this up as a key aspect, but if this becomes one of those sort of hairy beasts of creating a separate organization that needs volunteers to go do stuff, it can't be town council members, you guys are all busy, so how do we create this separate organization to potentially do that? You know, to the degree that the town wants monumental artwork, absolutely, I think what you probably heard from the board, when we talked about this months ago, it was like, wow, this sounds awesome. You know, how do we do it?
Yeah.
So can't the board create some way where if somebody wants to donate to that, can't the board create an avenue to?
Not easily, someone's gotta go found a 501c3, and it has to be separate.
Must be like, yeah, separate from town or the council, like, it's all
Goes back to
external.
that 501c.
It's external, they create bylaws
If-
that
We let it
basically
be.
say, we are fundraising for arts and history. And they are the vehicle for receiving the money.
But it's not easy to find.
The 501c3
But it's
meeting.
not only the.
Yeah, it has to be, it has to be an
The
organization.
development of an actual board,
Yeah.
and they have to be, and they're
So,
self-governed.
so
So it's
we demanded it
very
last month.
similar but different than this.
Because we were thinking about doing a 501c and it's like a whole board, man, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
you can create the board, I mean, and I'm happy to, because we went through this 3 years ago, I'm happy to help anybody do this, it's not hard, there's an IRS accelerated path, if you're never gonna take more than, say, 50 grand, you can get the 501c status within like 8 weeks, right, like, there's a path, but you do have to file with the Secretary of State, create, you know, a board, have bylaws, and pay those bills and everything else.
And we would want more than $50,000.
Over
that's
time,
okay, yeah.
yeah, over time, but, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
But, you know, I think
That also goes into grants
we,
though.
you know, we sort of talked about if it's something that's created, it would be wonderful if it was kind of arts and history related, so that it kind of covers some of the needs that the historical commission has too. Because again, there's so many similarities between the two,
Yeah.
but on their side, you know, they're fearful that somebody's gonna request an estate to them or write a $20,000 check. And it could happen on this side too. There's really literally almost nowhere to put it right now. That and how wonderful it would be to have just a donate now button on that website.
Are grants the same way? Like if we were to go out and get a grant, it would be the same situation?
No, I think grants are different.
Okay.
JG might be, I mean, the town gets grants for other things, which
Okay.
kind of works. Every grant's different, right? Like there's all sorts of transportation grants and things like that. An art grant, I don't know how that works.
But we've talked about
Yeah.
the eligibility would be much more elevated if there was a
A
501
yeah.
foundation instead of trying to apply for that eligibility as the town of Superior. Because we have a lot of internal infrastructure that would have to drastically change in order to meet the eligibility
Yeah,
if we try as just the town.
right.
But if we have that external foundation, it's a lot more
So
straightforward.
who wants to make one?
Well, there's also that potential overlap with CBCA, right? Because they've got that program that I found last year,
Mhm.
like their executive board program that I would love to participate in.
The training one?
It trains you how to
Yeah.
basically set up and run an organization just like.
Andrea went to that, didn't she?
I think that was one of several workshops.
Yeah.
It's like a 6 month and each month is like a different topic.
I don't know, I don't
Was it
think
that
it's,
one or something different?
I think it's a program, it's
Oh,
not like
okay.
a workshop, it's actually like a cohort.
That was like the art leadership,
That's
something,
right.
something, so
Yeah.
maybe this is different.
Do you know when it is?
No, I mean, I found it at the end of last year where they were closing applications.
Please find it again, forward it to us.
Find it
I mean,
again.
if it's not too late and you're willing to go and undertake it and start our foundation and make this stuff happen.
I think it's too late for this current cohort. Maybe for one, like, they might be having one at the end of the summer.
So would you be willing to start the 501c?
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
so I guess that would be sort of
Step one. Step one. Step
One.
And I have a lot of information on that I pulled. You got 5 board members. That was hard.
Yeah, I actually sent a list of everything to do to the historical commission after, we can talk.
Okay.
And I know that, like Larry Dorsey, who's the
Yeah.
chair of historic, his wife is interested in maybe not serving on, but helping to create. So I think there's a lot of support out there and a lot of interest. It's just
Sandy
maybe
Hammer did too.
gathering all the people
Pieces.
around the table, yeah. I think that could definitely be a possibility.
Okay, so you're on our foundation.
I guess.
Sweet.
And
It's a start.
I mean, that's a monumental
Yeah.
task.
Yeah.
or monumental one.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, let's continue. How about digital exhibitions? We've got $1,000 budgeted.
Yeah.
How many of these have went?
I'm starting to think, as we discussed last couple of meetings, like maybe these are best as adjunct shows to some other event. Like the pairings or,
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'd also talked about something maybe not permanent, but semi-permanent in the closet space.
Yeah.
Right, so once that comes online in the summer, we can have all the screens set up, rotating
yeah,
something.
that would make things a lot easier for shows.
And we could christen that space with 4 screens and some event up there,
Yeah.
civic space.
What if you did a team competition for like AI and then showed the winners at the team night or something like that? Cause
Yeah.
I don't know, that's like an automatic, those things are packed.
What's team night?
It's teens loitering, the community center to music.
Yeah, they come here and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like an parents' night off. You just throw your kids out the door.
but there, I don't know, Cooper goes to every single one and
There's one on Friday.
there's one on
Are
Friday.
they monthly? Or
They're
no?
a couple times a year,
Yeah,
like a Halloween,
oh, that's a monster mash.
yeah, there's a Valentine's, there was a ugly Christmas sweater or ugly holiday sweater. I love that. I don't know,
So it's the
just
youth
trying to get
leadership
more work. for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
advisory, so they kind of lead a lot of those, and that could be a really neat partnership between CATS.
Yeah, agreed.
If you need something to do. Just throw that.
I have a preteen, I guess I gotta be brought up to speed on this stuff.
Oh,
A tween.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
worse.
so how many of these are you willing to plan?
One.
I mean, look, we're not gonna sign yet. I mean,
Well, after you just took on that monumental.
I know,
task
right?
after this.
If we don't have the energy for the stuff, we don't wanna just sign up for stuff and not do it, right? So. One,
I would think that would be a good like tag along thing, if you were already gonna do something.
or
Not
punt and say that we're gonna do them in the civic space starting in the summer.
Or, yeah, well, if in June, if I do the TAG talk, they also work with, Professor Dobbs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's why I met Professor Dobbs, was there good. So
Between
between
now and the summer, we could use the screen, the pairings.
June could be a digital art talk.
That would be cool. Yeah,
What is the next deadline for Hello Superior and which issue?
tomorrow.
Literally tomorrow is the deadline for April, May, June.
Okay, so what about for July?
I was I will, how about, I will send my calendar to you all. Thank you.
We have a Gmail calendar, kind of.
And then this calendar.
Yeah.
What we're working on here. Yeah, and Susan and I have talked about how to turn all this. So we knew this was gonna be exploitative information, so we're gonna try to formative, something coherent.
And then I would like to rename the spring AI competition to us end of summer AI competition.
Late summer, yeah, okay. Approximate date,
Call it August, they return to school.
Indian summer AI competition.
August.
That's not
I think we've touched on enough that this calendar is already gonna be, we're gonna have some holes and we'll email people if there's anything we need to fill out.
Do we need to talk about the ARTery?
Yes, let's talk about Guardian, but JD, the neighborhood conflicts, we just promote it, continuously promote it. It's funded and it's more funded this year than last year. And so we just want people to do those things.
Did the three that applied, I think like with the last meeting, do their events?
The benches with garlands happened, the pickleball tournament, they backed out.
The weather.
Just because of weather and it being cold, and there's the,
They got that party.
oh, the turkeys,
Yeah, the deep fried turkey.
yeah, and they did that, and they took one to the fire department.
Aw.
I know,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
I play at the
Are these
fire department.
posted on Facebook?
No, we should do something, because they're sending us pictures, they're not going to know.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask if we should add like a social media agenda item to our meeting, next meeting, but like. Cause we did talk about like, if there's like a superior art Instagram, like. It has to be approved by the city, like each post, or could it be something where
You
CAPS
can't-
has its
Yeah,
own?
you can't have separate accounts for
We can't have
advisory
accounts.
groups.
We can't have a CAPS account
Mhm,
to promote what we're doing.
mhm.
I just promote
How
my
do we
stuff
make
on my
that?
own.
Yeah. How do we change
Yeah.
the rule?
That's a good question.
You,
Yeah.
ask for forgiveness, not permission.
We asked Neil, how do we change the rule?
Yeah, I mean, is that a town rule or is that like?
Like if we want to create our own social media account, like a CAPS, Cultural Arts Participation's Instagram account for us to post stuff on.
Yeah, no, I'm asking Gigi, I don't know if this is a town rule because of like Cora and all the other legal
Yeah, there's
restrictions.
absolutely no way for it to be quarried.
Yeah, that's
At all.
the main issue.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
And then, realize too that,
Yeah,
if,
we're not employees of the city, we're volunteers.
yeah,
Cora is a Colorado Open Records Act, which means like if somebody a year from now wants to see all the communications between, electeds or appointees, it's all producible.
And people do.
Oh, yeah.
Oddly enough,
I get
they do.
forward. So I think because it wouldn't be a town, like, so everything that gets sent by the town servers and everything, we can go back and pull it up and reduce it.
So what if we had an art,
Yeah, we love art in Superior,
Run by
like
the
something
town.
separate.
If it's run by the town.
It's,
it has to be run by the town.
And it still has to be approved, every post.
So we couldn't put something on like the 80027. Right, or whatever, Superior something.
I mean, we can.
You can,
You can personally, but otherwise you share what's been produced by comps.
But they authorize it pretty quickly, like I wrote my workshop, JG got it approved like in a day.
Yeah, you
And then
can,
I just posted it all over social media. So it's quick. It wasn't too bad. I think the longest took like a week, maybe. I don't know, I feel better than they do, how fast are they?
and I know it's something that other advisory groups have inquired about, but it's complicated.
Yeah.
But it's not much.
But noted for making an agenda item, because having a plan, we're a very visual
Yeah.
organization, so how do we tag things? How do we get them on Instagram? How do we publicize our works? Show our collection, all
And
these
it could be
things.
that we invite comps to a meeting.
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah.
have them come at the very beginning so that we can, hear it
Yeah.
directly from them and ask questions and,
You can
and I know
post
that, with this website just brand new, there's so many more capabilities for us to post there.
Yeah.
And I've talked about having all of our videos there, there's just a lot of things we're working on behind the scenes to make that site even more robust.
Like, I just
So I'm not saying
thinking-
that's the answer to the question
Yeah,
here,
If
but
someone had posted a picture of like a block party on something, I would more likely to be like, oh. I wanna do that.
right,
Town of Superior, that's what
Yeah.
I use, I hashtag everything Town of Superior,
yeah.
anytime I post anything in Superior,
But there's like a town of Superior dash government or something like that.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
got their
I
own
hashtag
account,
that.
and they will publish, occasionally things like our art.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like all these things, we can learn what other communities are doing, like Denver's got its own public art, Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Which seems to be run by Denver staff. You know, they've got a whole public art, Denver arts venues, but of course Denver is massive.
We know foundation
So
might
maybe
be able
a
to have
staff.
its own Instagram.
Run
Yeah,
that.
the 501c
Yeah.
would have its own.
Yeah.
Well, and I see like,
See,
Origins downtown, or maybe it's, downtown Superior has their own Facebook, and they highlight our art more than we do.
They would
They'll
cover-
publish, have
they
you seen the
cover
rings or whatever,
Yeah,
like
make sure that-
they're advertising their stuff with our.
Yeah, they have marketing.
Yeah. Why can't we?
So
It's very
it should
frustrating.
be a paid position, not a volunteer, right? Like for someone to run the page or something?
Like use, an employee of the town,
We have
right?
a comms department.
Yeah, we have a whole department for that.
Well, just give them another job.
They already do it. That's what we're saying, they already do it, it's just, you have to email it to them and they approve it and put it up, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Content that you want, you give me,
Yeah.
I get everything over to them, they approve and do their thing, and then it comes right back to you, and then it's ready to go.
Yeah, it would be nice if they came to a meeting and we could talk to them and see what they want, how we could like help, like.
Yeah.
For sort of the above and beyond of what is already there, what we have planned, yeah, I mean, cause like you're saying,
Yeah, we
like,
need a calendar. for
with
the
more
city.
video
Yeah.
production, we want more video.
It'd be nice to.
Stuff on the site, and I
Twice a
know
week.
that. But if there's other things, those would be some great things
Yeah.
to talk to them about, for sure.
Cause even at that point, you can have like the talks live. Like,
Oh, yeah,
Like when we
Facebook,
did them at
yeah.
our gallery, at the gallery in Denver, we like, the people, we can connect our Instagrams and like 5 different social media accounts are all live at the same talk.
That would be
It just-
cool.
It gets the.
Well, Superior's doing that now, Business Live. They're putting them on YouTube now, so it's YouTube Live and the meeting.
that would be cool, because there's like a lot of, like, if you guys are doing talks during the day, other people are working, can't make it, I'd like to watch it, yeah.
Well, we can also expand our talks. If we have a YouTube talk, then we can have people in France, like talking to someone here in
And we
Superior.
have a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
so again, talking to comms to maybe bolster some of what y'all are thinking about, and figure out how to make it happen.
Right. 6B, we're not gonna, we got 3 minutes. The idea was just that, and I think in particular, Chris thought that we just kind of splatted the artwork out a little bit without really having a cohesive plan for the artery. So this was just a discussion item as to how this particular group deals about the artery. It's in the art master plan, and I think we all generally like the idea. I like the idea of having a map and everything that we can do with it. So it was just a discussion by this group as to what it means to us and to what extent we think that every piece of art should be along the artery, or does it have to be, or do you focus on a certain region, or if you're done focusing on downtown. And we're just, we can chat for 3 minutes, but I think we're gonna have to resurface it.
I'd like to see it everywhere, I want art everywhere,
It's a small enough town where people
Yeah.
can be like, or like,
yeah,
I really feel strongly that our art pieces should help create these public spaces for people to commune in.
yes.
And putting art in the median just does not do anywhere near that. It doesn't make it accessible or create public space.
Yeah.
Makes it hard to see the art, makes it hard to teach the art. And I would like to see our art go places where people can actually create talking groups around it, or just space.
2 pieces that are in the median are rentals. So there's that.
Yeah.
We paid a fair amount to get some months installed, but we don't have to keep, we don't have to keep them where they are either.
Anywhere now.
Yeah, they're probably not going anywhere for a little.
I like that idea.
Actually, nice, let's go.
I like the piece. I think it's beautiful.
I like where it is too. With lights.
How long is the term on the lease?
Year by year,
I should know
Till
that.
the end of the year,
year to year,
we just renewed.
Okay,
year to year, and it's leased to own.
right, yeah, okay, that's right, okay.
So at any time you could buy them outright to the tune of about 20K each more than what we already paid, or let them go.
But things like the drum circle could be part of the artery, and then something like the splash paint could be part of the artery, and maybe incorporate some of our calendar ideas to like emphasize the artery would kind of like help.
Can I ask a quick question? The map that was developed, is that set? Is it not changing? Is it good to go? Cause I would like that on the website in that order. I think
I don't know that we've ever said that it's golden, but it's pretty good. We got waylaid by the whole metro district.
Yeah, that's right.
But now we potentially have a point of contact there to
But
change.
do you envision that map staying the way it is, or do you envision it changing?
I've got no reason to believe it's gonna change, but I also, as we use it, you know, oh, we should go the other way around this block or whatever, you know.
So if it's something we put on the site in that artery section, it could maybe change or something.
But we could just
Oh, yeah.
update it then.
Yeah, okay,
It's just one up, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
that'd be great.
And we had talked about community engagement as part of the way of defining the route and having neighborhoods, you know, compete for the artery or whatever.
That would be cool.
Halloween, you know, 5K or what, you know, all these things.
You know, decorate your back fence and that kind of stuff.
Or look, because like on my street, so many people have statues and stuff in front of their houses. That's great.
You've got the little art corridor
We
on
do
your
have an art corridor on my whole block. It's
The artery.
It's on West Yara, just right down,
Where's the artery?
it's just right down Yara. There's people that have metal statues.
All right,
There's
it's
an artist that makes these
All right.
huge flowers.
We got our, the HOA has to crack down.
No, they don't. I asked them if I could put my obelisk outside and they said fine. So I've got a 6-foot stained glass obelisk going up there.
Cool.
Unless we take it to Oshkosh Center. We do that.
Art stop at 8, so I motion that we adjourn this meeting at
Seconded.
8 PM.
Let's go.
So moved.
Recording stopped.
That's